Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to World of Warcraft. This is not WoW Classic. I was doing a leveling series on WoW Classic playing as an undead warlock, but then I just quickly lost interest in Classic again. Of course, all the Cold War stuff was happening, and then the pre-patch for Shadowlands here in retail World of Warcraft came out. I've been playing a lot of that as of lately. Here I am on my Paladin, who I am 90% sure is going to be my main going into Shadowlands. I don't know, man. The thing about WoW is there are so many classes and so many specs, and I enjoy all of them. But right now, Paladin has been really the class I'm enjoying the most. I really like Retribution, which is like the DPS spec. I like Protection, the tank spec, quite a bit, which is what I'm doing right now. Holy is a lot different. It's definitely not like a traditional healer. It's like you're in melee, doing melee attacks while also healing. That takes a little bit of getting used to. My healing comes from like playing like my history is like with a Mistweaver or like a Resto Druid or like a Resto Shaman. So it's a little bit different. Not so keen on Holy, but I haven't really messed around with it a whole lot as of late. But yeah, Paladin's looking like a lot of fun so far, and I've played Horde for so long in WoW that I think going Alliance for Shadowlands will actually be a lot of fun. In fact, going into BFA, I was actually playing my Paladin here, although I quit BFA pretty quickly. What I did was I was playing Ret, and I joined a guild, and we cleared all of Old Deer, I think, which was the first raid tier of BFA, which was fine. But then I just kind of lost interest and I stopped playing, and I took like a 2-year break, and I came back, and then I moved my Paladin to another server, and I'm still thinking I'm going to be playing Paladin again for Shadowlands, but I'm not honestly entirely sure. I really like how they changed up Retribution. I like a couple of the new talents that they have here. I like the changes in Shadowlands that basically have, for Paladins anyway, we have our auras back, which is really cool. And just all the utility that I have while playing. Now, this is something I need to set up keybinds for, but Hand of Reckoning, right? It's basically a straight-up taunt. And all Paladins can use Shield of the Righteous. If you have a shield, it's going to do a little bit of damage, then increase your armor by a bunch. So hypothetically, if I'm DPSing as Ret in a dungeon, tank goes down and we can't res him for some reason, I can set up a macro to swap my weapons from just like a normal melee weapon to having like a sword and board, a sword and a shield, and then kind of pseudo tank because I have a taunt and I have a bit of mitigation in the form of Shield of Vengeance and of course Shield of the Righteous. So that could be potentially really interesting. Paladin is just fun, man. I love tanking as Paladin as well. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to Protection here. We're going to be doing the Headless Horseman dungeon here today because I love the dungeon. I actually have a really funny story involving this, right? So I already have the Headless Horseman mount. I got it a couple of years ago. This is a mount that you can only get once per year. It's there's a Headless Horseman dungeon that happens during Hallow's End. And if you check this out, so Hallow's End started on the 18th. It's going to be going all the way until Halloween on the 31st. Right, so it's only there for 2 weeks, and during that time, once per day, per character, you can queue up for the Headless Horseman dungeon. If you beat Headless Horseman, you then get a loot-filled pumpkin, and that mount has a very, very small chance to actually be in there. Let's go ahead and check the achievements here. I think it'd be under Feat of Strength, mounts, yeah, the Horseman's Reigns. I got it on October 24th of 2015, so I've had it for a number of years now. And what's actually funny is I was running Karazhan just the other day, and I ended up getting the Fiery Warhorse, finally. Like, I ended up getting the new Midnight mount out of Return to Karazhan. I forget when this was. I want to say a couple months ago, something like that, which I love this mount. It's definitely newer, definitely awesome looking. But I finally ended up getting the old school Karazhan mount just the other day, which actually looks quite a lot like the Headless Horseman mount. But what was really funny about it was I queued up for the dungeon, right? My very first time doing the Headless Horseman dungeon in 2020, and it dropped. The Horseman's Reigns, there's like a 1% chance or something low like that for the mount to actually drop. It dropped my very first run this year. And what's crazy is, as you guys can see, for those who don't play WoW, it says Soulbound on it. That means when I got it, it's Soulbound. It means I can only use it. I can't trade it to anybody else in the group. And I felt bad because just to flex on them, right? I decided to like ride the Headless Horseman mount up to the Headless Horseman. Like the only reason why people do this dungeon is because they're trying to get that particular mount. And I rode the mount that they're going for up to the boss itself, and then I got the drop, which was actually pretty insane. Oh, what's also kind of helpful about it as well is you get some decent gear out of it. Like I said, I stopped playing after the first raid tier in BFA, so my item level on my character was pretty damn low. Like insanely low. Like if I run like heroic dungeons, for example, like that is going to be an upgrade for me. So like the Headless Horseman ring right here was a huge upgrade for me. But that's okay. There's going to be an event coming up here soon where Basically, the Scourge are going to retake over Azeroth. We're going to be fighting them up in Northrend and stuff. There's going to be a lot of catch-up gear right there, so you're going to be doing a bunch of quests and getting gear that way to kind of like get you ready for Shadowlands, which will be cool. So I'm kind of just waiting for that. I'm not really going to bother too much when it comes to like messing around, trying to gear out my Paladin, knowing that the catch-up gear is on its way. But yeah, as you guys can see, we're back inside this dungeon. This is such a nostalgic dungeon for me. I think I did a video on this dungeon a couple years ago. But what makes it so fun for me is when I first started playing WoW back in 2014. It was right around October, I think. And what was neat about it was I was playing my Rogue. My Rogue was my main character. And I ended up getting the Headless Horseman Sinister Slicer. It's a one-handed sword. And rogues could use one-handed swords, right? And that sword was so much better than any of the daggers I had. Like, I was set up to be Subtlety back in Mist of Pandaria when I first started playing, but then I got that sword, and it was so much better than any sword I had. I mean, I was new to the game. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, well, shit, if I get another sword, I'm going combat, which combat was, at the time, the rogue spec that used swords. And then, so my very first time going in here, I ended up getting that. And then the next time I went in on my rogue, I ended up getting the second sword. And so I end up using those, which felt pretty good. And so how this boss fight works, by the way, you take down the Headless Horseman as much as you can, and there's like 3 phases to it, basically. His head will pop up, or pop off, rather, and then once it's off, you have to go kill the head, and then you're good. It's not really a super hard dungeon, per se. I mean, watch my health bar. I mean, I'm taking a little bit of damage because I'm tanking, but in general, the damage is not all that bad, so long as I keep up my mitigation. He does have one spell that he's going to cast that can do damage if I stand in it. I'm going to stand in it. I'm just going to see how much it does. That did literally nothing to me. Wow. Yeah, so it's a pretty easy dungeon overall. It's more of a nostalgia thing and just kind of a fun little event. It's nothing like an actual dungeon or an actual raid, but it's still pretty fun to go through, I think. And I got Avenging Wrath back. I'm going to wait until we get this guy's head. In the third phase, he spawns in a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns to fight for him, which is fun because you get a bunch of AoE going off. So right here, he's going to start calling them in, I believe. And by the way, this classic numbers add-on is so cool. Okay, here come all the skeletons. We're going to go ahead and pop Avenging Wrath now. And about to have my shield. There we go. There we go. Big AoE numbers. This is why everyone likes AoE. And the classic numbers, you can't really tell what's happening on your screen, but it's just cool to see all the numbers as you're doing bunches and bunches of AoE damage. It's going to pop a cooldown anyway. It just makes so my healer doesn't really have to heal. Yeah, this dungeon is actually more fun if somebody queues up as a healer, but they're not actually healing. Because when that happens, I actually have to pay attention as a tank. When I have a healer, it's just easy. It's just super easy. All right, so this guy got a ring. This person got another ring. Let's see, loot. I got gold and a little jack-o'-lantern for my head, which I guess we can go ahead and just pop that on right now. Why not? Looks pretty nifty. Now, the actual loot. Oh, horrific hood. Okay, he got the helm. I got the helm a long time ago, which is what my I'm transmogged into. But let's go ahead and open it, and we just got tricky treats. Nothing great. Nothing great. So it doesn't look like anyone in our group ended up getting the mount. But I'm okay with that, because I already have the mount. I just like doing this dungeon, man. Hallow's Eve is it's a fun time in WoW. Like, anywhere you go in the world, it's decorated for Halloween. You can't fly in dungeons, obviously. It's just pretty neat. I even decked out my character to try and be spooky. Got the Headless Horseman's head. Transmog my shoulders to, I think that was a Legion Death Knight offset, maybe. It's not the best transmog ever. It's just basically something I chose. Oh, there we go. I don't know, something to be a little bit spooky-ish. Make it kind of match. You know, it's kind of the fun of WoW. Let's go ahead and leave instance group here. And yeah, I just want to fly around Stormwind just a little bit. You know, it's just kind of fun. Like flying around, and I mean, look at the entire town's decorated for Halloween, pretty much. It's not only like just the main cities; it's the entire world. That's one of like the things I really like about WoW is there's just like an infinite amount of things to do within the game itself. And then there's also like the Halloween events. There's raiding, there's PvP, there's dungeoning, there's questing. So many achievements, so many mounts to farm if you want to go for like some really hard to get mounts, which is, you know, obviously what I'm flying around on right now. There's just so much to this game. It's so fun, and I've always liked the idea of a human paladin. I think it's because, so how I got into WoW way back in the day was I was playing Hearthstone. I had never played WoW before, and I was playing Hearthstone, and I was enjoying that quite a bit. And from Hearthstone, I started like being interested. I found myself like really interested in the different characters that were there, like Garrosh and Uther and all that, you know. And so eventually I gave WoW a try. And then from that, I ended up giving Here's the Storm a try. And then Uther, who I'd heard so much about, he was like the tutorial character with Raynor. And so I always thought Uther was pretty cool. And so like the idea of like a human paladin, I just kind of like have an affinity towards that, I guess, because I really liked Uther in Hearthstone as well as in Heroes of the Storm. And paladins, it just so happens, like it turns out I really like tanking. I really like melee, which is what paladins are. They can also heal, so you can do all three things. You can be a melee DPS, a tank, or even a healer, which is cool. And also, there's a little bit of an event with the Headless Horseman. He's also out here in the world. It's like a little event you can do. It's nothing like crazy or anything. So what he does, he flies around Goldshire here for the Alliance and sets the buildings on fire. And what you can do, no one really does it. There's not really a huge reward for doing so anymore. But you grab water, you run over to the fire, you throw water at the fire, fire goes out, and eventually, well, it didn't even go out. But eventually you can save it. And I think you get, I think there's like a daily quest or something involving that. Stop the fires. Let's see. Quests. I'm actually not 100% sure where it is. Hallow's End, Shores of Fate, Heart of Azeroth. Where in the world would it even be? Use that. Do that. Oh, stop the fires while I pass it. So the reward for this, you just get some tricky treats, a little bit of gold, and a weighted jack-o'-lantern. It's not really a reason to do it unless you're going for the achievements. But if you go to world events here, I did all of the achievements for Hallow's End a long time ago. Yeah, I completed it October 30th of 2015. God, that was over almost 5 years ago. Dude, time flies when you play this game. I did it as Horde, which is why I don't have this achievement right here. But, yeah, holy hell. Time really flies. What's my oldest achievement in this game? Let's see. We got legacy stuff. Actually, it's not show. Oh, do feats of strength. 9,000 achievement points, 2016. Promotions. Go way down here. So the Warlord's Death Wheel, I got that just for signing in. That was like January, February, March, April, May, June, July 4th. The 4th of July in 2014. Is that my oldest achievement, maybe? It's looking like it might have been. Summer 2014 sounds about right, actually. Pretty sure. Oh, I actually hit Rival. I was playing my Warlock. When I first came back to the game, I was playing Warlock on Horde, ended up hitting Rival in PvP, which is cool. I think that might be my oldest achievement. Yeah, Ashes of Alar. I didn't even mean to get it. I was just running the raid just to see it. End up getting that. So yeah, July of 2014 is probably my oldest achievement. November 2014. Go way down here. September of 2014. Dungeons. So that's 1 month after when we did Upper Blackrock Spire before they rechanged it. Yeah, so summer 2014. Call it July. Maybe June, July, something like that. Of 2014 is when I started playing the game. And I've been playing ever since. Even on my Paladin here, like, look at my / played on my Paladin. Total time played on this one character is 35 days, 12 hours, and 12 days of playtime at max level here since BFA came out a couple years ago. Doesn't seem like a lot, but then I haven't really played a whole lot in the past couple years. But 35 days on one character. I have like 100 days on my Rogue. I mained him for like 6 years. So, I don't know, man. WoW's a fun game. I like Hallow's End, and I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a video here. I mean, might as well. It's October. A little spooky video doing Hallow's End, also talking about WoW. A number of people come into my live streams, and I talk about WoW all the time on my streams. I rarely actually stream it. And a couple people have like started playing WoW, or they want to give the game a try. And yeah, so there you go. Here's just a little WoW video for those of you that actually give a damn about WoW. Also, I love the Stormwind Cathedral. It's one of my favorite places in the game. It's actually my wallpaper on my computer. But it's one of my favorite places in the game. It's also pretty cool how they do it up for Halloween. They put the giant jack-o'-lanterns up there. And, I don't know, it's just kind of a cool little place in general. Especially for Paladins, right? Playing Classic WoW, my main character in Classic is a Paladin. And back then, to learn all your abilities, you actually had to come here. They actually revamped this quite a bit. So there's a wing right there. But in Classic, there's also a wing over this way. But that's no longer there. And obviously a pretty cool thing is Rekful, who is a streamer / YouTuber for WoW, who unfortunately passed not too long ago. They made him an NPC rogue trainer and put him in the game, which I think is definitely awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We're going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like. You want to see more WoW-style content, feel free to put that down in the comments. I'll probably be streaming some of it when Shadowlands eventually does come out. Or maybe I'll just continue on with, dicking around just playing it and stuff like that. Because the thing about WoW for me is it's always been, I love it, it's a PvP mount you got for Season 1 of BFA. My favorite thing about WoW is it's always been like my chill game, right? Well, I'm not streaming, I'm not doing videos. It's just a game I play for fun, like off camera, you know? But I wouldn't mind like incorporating more videos and stuff of it, or even live streams. So this is, like I said, at BFA, this is what you get for getting winning 100 games at 1400 rating or higher in PvP, which I think is just an awesome mount. This thing is cool. It's so unique. And what's the other one? I think I have it set up here. Yeah, this is the one you get for Season 4, which I didn't play Seasons 2 or 3. But this is the one you get for Season 4 for the Alliance, which is pretty cool. I like this one quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, mount farming, going for all sorts of stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it's a fun thing. It's interesting to go for. There's like so much to do in the game. You can play as super hardcore as you want or not hardcore at all. Like, it really just depends on what you want to do. And yeah, so that's one of the things about WoW that just kind of keeps me coming back and back and back. And my brother's also getting back into it. He's playing Alliance as well. It's looking like he might be going Demon Hunter for Shadowlands, but he's also leveling up an Arcane Mage, so not so sure. Actually, I have an idea for another video. I might want... See, I don't know who my alt is going to be. I definitely want... my Paladin's probably going to be my main, but I don't know who I want my alt to be. And if I can ever finally decide... By the way, the new character creation screen is insane. If I ever finally figure out what character I would want to be my alt, maybe a hunter, maybe dwarf hunter, dark iron dwarf hunter, I think would actually be cooler, because dark iron dwarves are just cooler. They have fiery beards. I don't know, but if I do, I'm just going to just type in a random name. If I do finally decide, no, I can't do it for dark iron, shoot. Just do night elf, random name. Yeah, Exile's Reach. This is actually such a cool idea. So they've had the old starting zones forever in this game. But one thing they finally did was they added a starting zone that's solely for new players. And apparently, in this starting zone, it teaches you everything you would need to know about WoW. Whereas, like, the hardest thing, I've always said this for years, like, if they want more people to get into WoW, they need to make it more accessible to new players, which typically is a bad thing, but in this case, it's not. When you join WoW, before they updated this for Shadowlands, like, you go to your starting zone, it's so confusing, the story is so disconnected. It actually makes sense now with Exile's Reach and like this new starting zone. It teaches you everything from opening your bags to how talents work to how like everything works. And I should actually do a video on that. I think I'm going to, just for like those of you who have never played WoW that maybe watch my content, just like watching my videos or listening to them in the background. I could do a video doing this entire starting zone on a character, and I'll go over everything. It'll teach everything you'd ever need to know about getting into the game. That actually sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. But the problem is, I don't know what, because I want to do it not only for the video, but also because I want to make an alt, like a secondary character. Like all throughout Shadowlands, I'll be playing my Paladin, but I don't know what I want my other character to be. I really don't. Like, it's going to be Alliance, and these are the only races I have. Although, I don't really care about Void Elf. I don't care about Lightforged Draenei. Kultiran are just fat humans. Mechanomes are dumb. That's the thing about Horde. I played Horde for so many years. The Horde have way cooler races. I love Goblins. I love Orcs. I love the Mogar Orcs. I love Tauren. High Mountain Tauren are okay. Undead are awesome. Horde just has the cooler races, in my opinion, but I really like humans and the Alliance and the human Paladins and stuff. Night Elves are okay. Dwarves are okay. Not a huge fan of gnomes. I don't know. Do I copy my brother and make a gnome mage? I don't know. Gnome rogue? I played a rogue for so long. I could play it. Nah, I don't. If I want to play rogue, I'd go back to my goblin rogue. See, that's the hard part. Hunter. I'm kind of leaning towards Dark Iron Dwarf Hunter, but I can't do that starting zone if it's Dark Iron, which is unfortunate. I'd have to be like a normal dwarfy boy. Honestly, the only difference really is the racials, but in some of the customization. Worgen? No, I don't care for Worgen. I would play a Worgen, honest to God. I would play a Worgen if I could stay in human form and then only go to wolf form if I wanted to. But apparently, as soon as you go into combat, you become like the werewolf dude, which is unfortunate. I don't know. Night Elf Druid? Pandaren Monk? No. Yeah, I don't know, man. Human? Do I go human again? Do I go like human mage? I like humans in this game quite a bit. I don't know. They're down to earth, you know? Human priest? I've always kind of wanted to do a priest. I've never really played a priest. But the thing is, I would only pretty much heal as a priest. I don't know. Having a human, maybe make this one female. I don't know. Do a male human paladin and a female human priest. Maybe that'll be what I do. I don't know. Priests have so much cool customization, though. Wait, no. No, it's not actually the customization. It's just like the animations, rather, of their abilities, which is always really cool. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'll do a video on this, on the new starting zone for sure, guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed this little video here. If you did, consider leaving a like, leave your thoughts and feedback down below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.